Now, if there's one thing that Chinese Weibo users love, it's a good sex scandal. And according to a Weibo post that cites The Guardian, Anthony Weiner, a candidate for the office of the mayor of New York City, is being pressured to quit the election after he admitted on Tuesday that he had continued to exchange sexually charged messages with young women, even though the first time he did it in 2011, he had to resign from Congress. Now, you all probably still remember his first scandal. Mr. Weiner sent a link using Twitter to a 21-year-old woman that led to a sexually suggestive picture. Now, when the media got a hold of the story, he first denied that he posted the image and then admitted that he was sending sexually explicit photos and messages to women both before and during his marriage. But he denied that he had ever met them or had any physical relationship with any of the women. Now, after the media reported on his story, he then resigned from Congress. Now, in American politics, sending some naughty pictures and raunchy text messages to a woman you've never met could possibly cost you your job. But what about in China? What do Chinese internet users think of Mr. Weiner? Well, let's take a look at some Weibo comments.
Mayoral candidates all work with a professional team, don't they? How come they weren't able to help him with this scandal? A wife in a regular family would probably divorce her husband if she found him cheating on her, but for the wife of a diplomat, they have to think about the bigger picture. How could he become the mayor? He has made himself dishonorable by asking for a second chance on a second chance. His public relations skills are also terrible. In comparison, I think the actions of Chinese officials are far worse. American politicians that keep mistresses do so with their own money, but Chinese officials keep their mistresses with taxpayers' money and through funds that they obtain from bribes and graft. This guy only sent text messages. I don't see how that should be considered a sex scandal. Americans haven't seen Chinese sex scandals involving officials. We have explicit pictures of these government employees naked with their mistresses. We even have sex videos.
Chinese internet users are no strangers to politicians and sex scandals. In fact, Mr. Weiner's little scandal barely counts as a scandal in the eyes of most Chinese internet users. And one of the biggest scandals in China that had gotten a lot of publicity would have to be that of former regional Communist Party official Mr. Lei Zhengfu. Now, Mr. Lei was caught having sex with an 18-year-old mistress on video. According to Chinese media reports, their sexy encounter was a sting operation put together by a property developer who wanted to use the video to blackmail Mr. Lei. Now, the video was either leaked or uploaded onto the internet and spread like wildfire, and Mr. Lei's less than stellar performance in bed quickly became a well-known punchline for many internet jokes. Now, Mr. Lei was sentenced to 13 years in prison, not for having sex with his barely legal mistress, but for accepting $500,000 in bribes. Now, 13 years is a pretty long time, but it will pass. However, being forever known as the 12-second wonder, well, that will stay with